Welcome to the Bare Metal Cybersecurity Plus podcast. This series helps you prepare for the CompTIA Security Plus exam with focused explanations and practical context. For a companion study guide, check out the Achieve CompTIA Security Plus 701 Exam Success by Dr. Jason Edwards. It is the most concise and complete Security Plus guide on the market, built for busy professionals who want to pass the exam fast and on their first try. You can find this book and others at cyberauthor.me. Cybersecurity professionals aren't just defenders. They're builders, automators, and problem solvers. And in today's environments, doing security right means doing it efficiently. That's where automation and scripting come in. By automating repetitive tasks and embedding security into workflows, teams can reduce risk, improve consistency, and respond faster to changing threats. In this episode, we begin our two-part series on automation use cases by focusing on three key areas: user provisioning, resource provisioning, and implementing security guardrails. But let's begin with automating user provisioning. Provisioning is the process of creating, configuring, and enabling user accounts when someone joins an organization. Traditionally, this involved multiple manual steps: creating accounts in Active Directory, adding group memberships, assigning licenses, configuring email accounts, and granting application access. Manual provisioning is slow, error-prone, and inconsistent, especially in large or fast-growing organizations. Automation solves this problem by using scripts, identity management platforms, or workflow engines to handle provisioning tasks. These tools respond to triggers, like a new hire event in the HR system, and execute a series of predefined actions. The result is faster onboarding, reduced administrative workload, and improved accuracy. Let's consider a real-world example. A software company integrates its HR platform with its identity and access management system. When HR enters a new employee into the system, the automation workflow creates an Active Directory account, assigns the appropriate group memberships based on department, provisions a mailbox, and enables access to tools like Jira and Slack. The new hire receives a welcome email with login instructions, and everything is ready before their first day. No tickets, no delays, no inconsistencies. Automation also improves offboarding. When an employee leaves, their access must be revoked immediately to reduce insider threat risk. An automated workflow can detect the termination event and disable user accounts, remove group memberships, revoke session tokens, and deactivate multi-factor authentication within seconds. In hybrid and remote environments, user provisioning also extends to devices. Automation can trigger device enrollment, configure endpoint protection, and install required applications based on the user's role. This enables secure, zero-touch deployment and enforces consistent security baselines across all endpoints. Next, let's talk about resource provisioning. This refers to the automated creation, configuration, and deployment of computing resources, such as virtual machines, containers, databases, and cloud services. In modern IT and DevOps environments, resources must be provisioned quickly, consistently, and securely. Using tools like Terraform, Ansible, PowerShell, or Cloud NetApp platforms, administrators can define infrastructure as code. This means that infrastructure, networks, storage, instances, and policies is described in configuration files and provisioned automatically. It's faster than manual setup and reduces the risk of misconfiguration. Let's walk through a practical example. A development team needs a testing environment for a new application. Instead of opening a ticket and waiting days for a system administrator, they run an automation script that provisions a virtual machine in Azure, installs required packages, and sets firewall rules. The environment is ready in minutes and matches organizational standards for security and performance. When testing is complete, the automation decommissions the environment, freeing up resources and ensuring no forgotten systems are left online. Automation also helps with resource scaling. For example, during peak business hours, an e-commerce platform might need more compute power. Automation scripts detect increased load and spin up additional servers. When traffic subsides, resources are scaled down to reduce cost. This kind of dynamic provisioning ensures performance without overcommitting resources. From a security standpoint, resource automation supports consistent configurations. All systems built from the same template include the same logging, antivirus, and monitoring tools. This enforces compliance and reduces gaps caused by human error. Now let's turn to security guardrails. Guardrails are automated policies or controls that prevent users from making dangerous or non-compliant changes. They don't stop progress, they keep teams aligned with best practices and policies. In other words, guardrails are the security equivalent of lane assist on a car. They help users stay on course without forcing them off the road. Security guardrails are especially important in cloud environments where developers and engineers often have the ability to launch resources or change configurations. Without automated checks, it's easy to accidentally expose a storage bucket to the public internet or deploy an application without encryption. Let's explore a real-world scenario. A cloud team configures a policy that automatically blocks the creation of virtual machines without endpoint protection. If a user tries to spin up an instance that doesn't meet security requirements, the automation stops the deployment and sends a notification. This guardrail prevents insecure builds from entering production and reduces the burden on security teams. Another example involves network controls. A DevOps engineer tries to deploy a new containerized app, but the automation checks revealed that the default security group would expose the app to the entire internet. The guardrail tool modifies the rule to restrict access to approved Internet Protocol ranges and requires justification for any exceptions. This approach prevents accidental exposure while preserving flexibility for developers. Guardrails can also enforce identity and access controls. For example, if someone creates a new role with administrative privileges, a script can detect the change, check it against policy, and either approve, deny, or flag it for review. This helps prevent privilege escalation and ensures that access controls are aligned with least privilege principles. Security guardrails can be implemented using native cloud services, such as AWS config rules, Azure policy, or Google organization policies, or through third-party tools that integrate with infrastructure as code pipelines and configuration management systems. The key to successful guardrails is balance. Controls should prevent dangerous actions but still allow innovation and speed. Too many restrictions frustrate teams and encourage workarounds. Smart guardrails provide real-time feedback, suggest alternatives, and enforce critical policies without creating unnecessary barriers. To summarize, automation is not just about saving time, it's about improving security, consistency, and scalability. Automating user provisioning ensures that new accounts are created correctly and deactivated promptly, reducing the risk of access misuse. Automating resource provisioning makes infrastructure deployment faster and more secure, while enforcing configuration standards and security guardrails help keep teams within policy boundaries, preventing risky changes before they go live. Together, these practices make security a built-in part of daily operations, not an afterthought. For the Security Plus exam, expect questions about automation use cases, user onboarding workflows, infrastructure as code, and policy enforcement through guardrails. You may be asked to choose the right automation tool for a task, or analyze a scenario where provisioning or access control has gone wrong. Review terms like role automation, cloud policy, service template, configuration drift, and infrastructure lifecycle processing. They're all likely to appear and are critical for modern cybersecurity professionals. Thanks for joining us for this episode of the Bare Metal Cybersecurity Plus podcast. For more episodes, tools, and study support, visit us at baremetalcyber.com. And before you take the test, make sure to check out the practice questions in the book Achieve CompTIA Security Plus SY0-701 Exam Success by Dr. Jason Edwards. They cover every domain and are a powerful way to lock in your knowledge.